Eugene by Thestargirlinterlude. Don't, and I cannot stress this enough, fuck it up with Marlene today, Dorcas. It was just a visit to her house after all. One hangout, one of thousands, except this time was different. All of the hangouts have been different since February. But this was especially different. It was the second day after Marlene's breakup. On the first day, Marlene said she wanted to be alone to think. Dorcas hadn't spent much time with Marlene's ex-boyfriend now, but what they could tell, he interrupted Marlene too much, talked too loud, and pretended he knew a lot more than he did. Also, that he had a stupid southern accent and an iron grip on Marlene that restricted Dorcas from seeing her as often as they'd like to. Well, that was true until he decided to break up abruptly, leaving Marlene a broken mess. It broke Dorcas' heart to see her friend in pain, but it also made him fucking hungry. Marlene was the last person who needed their heart broken. She was the best friend Dorcas could ask for. Funny, chill, but so caring and kind. Dorcas thought if they weren't absolutely smitten with her, they might despise her instead. However, skating up to her house at the end of the street, the one with the slightly overgrown lawn, the white picket fence, and the numerous lawn ornaments, made Dorcas think, scratch that, there's no way I could hate her. It was a miracle that they ever became friends. It wasn't supposed to be that way. 4 years ago, Dorcas was supposed to be a new person at a school nobody talked to. Moving across the country was terrible on Dorcas' dad's part anyway. Dorcas was going to be away from the nice California weather, their friends that already understood them, every girl that actually reciprocated feelings for them, and the carefree nature of everyone and everything. In Ohio, Dorcas was made more aligned than they'd ever been. And fucking Ohio, it was pretty, kind of, but that was the end of it. There was absolutely nothing to do. No skate parks, no record stores, no fucking way anyone sane lived there. There were conservatives up the wazoo if Dorcas had $1 every harmless billboard they'd seen so far, and you could feel the bigotry in the air, just barely contained behind the lips of old white people. And shit, there were so many old white people. Living in suburban hell didn't help either. Here, people actually lived on fucking cul-de-sacs, McMansion after McMansion, craftsman bungalow after craftsman bungalow, mid-century modern after mid-century modern. The neighbors were quick to fulfill their duties as the suburban demons. A few welcome gifts, neighborhood watch interventions, and judgmental glares from overly cautious baseball moms. Just what Dorcas needed, apparently. Thank fuck for Marlene. Even upon first sight, Dorcas could tell she was different. She didn't look much different than everyone else. Her blonde hair, and brown eyes made sure of that. It was more her energy. Everyone else prior had seemed to stiff in Dorcas' mind, whereas Marlene was loose, fluid. Everyone else acted like they had everything in the world to say and not enough time to say it, and Marlene talked like every word had importance and therefore needed time to sound out. The only way Dorcas could describe Marlene was the way was the only way Dorcas could describe Marlene was that she was sort of like a mason jar filled with a bunch of energy fireflies. They'd met in history class. Marlene had rushed in before the bell with some of her friends from lunch. Not that Dorcas had been staring. Cheeks blushed and breath heavy. She was radiant, her eyes scanning from seat to seat, and Dorcas internally pleaded, "Please don't let her catch me staring. Please don't let her see me. I'm not worthy. Please, please don't." But as Marlene's eyes locked with Dorcas, they felt electrified. In that moment, they became aware of every breath they took. Everything else melted away, only Marlene and Dorcas in a vacuum. Dorcas realized they'd be okay with that. Only with okay with any situation if it was with Marlene. Okay with the instant smile that formed on Marlene's face. Okay with her walking over and sitting down next to them. Okay with introducing themselves. Okay with starting conversation with her until the teacher began the lesson. Okay with taking glances at her during class time only to find her gazing back. Dorcas internally pleaded again. "Please don't stop looking at me. Don't stop looking at me, because I don't want to ever stop looking at you." After that, Dorcas attached to Marlene like a mole she got on her shoulder the summer before sophomore year. The way they sat next to each other every day in history for the rest of the middle school. The summer before high school, they signed up for the same classes and went to the same summer camp. There were a few situations where they were apart, but they didn't need to be, nor want to be. Their honeymoon period never actually ended. They each pursued different interests. Dorcas had art and Marlene had soccer. Marlene had to be the best soccer player in Ohio, and no, Dorcas was not being biased. She was dedicated to the sport. The sport was originally seemed very stupid, and still does if Marlene isn't playing. And every opponent that didn't know it before would soon find out. And about Marlene being nice, she was. But with soccer, she was everything but. She was unforgiving to anyone who played, her passion only fueling her fight. Dorcas thought it was very cruel how the lights above the field always seemed to highlight her muscles, and how during Marlene's most competitive times the muscles showed themselves even more. Dorcas could hardly clap at some games, especially not when Marlene ended every game flashing her winning smile, and occasionally adding an extra cool wink at Dorcas. Dorcas had art, but that was because they more or less needed it. Dorcas often thought they had this hole inside their heart. Art was a way to fill that hole. They blamed that hole being there because of their mom. They could barely speak about their mom. Art could speak about their mom. Art could talk. Art could feel. Art was Dorcas's diary, their compass, their therapist. The only thing that filled Dorcas like art was Marlene. When Marlene wasn't there, colors and sketches acted as band-aids. Dorcas felt her breath hitch slightly when Marlene opened the door. "Hi." "Hi." Well, this was different. Why was she so shy? Why am I so shy? Do something about it. I'm sorry about you, and I'm sorry. I am not in the mood to say his name right now. It's okay. Silence. Fuck. You can come in if you want. It's not like my parents are home. Marlene pushed off the door frame she was leaning on and moved back for Dorcas to enter. Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, okay. Marlene's room was at the end of the hall to the right, adjacent to her parents' room. Her parents' room always gave Dorcas the creeps, but Marlene's room was comfortable. The walls were baby pink and glittered with posters of soccer players and Amelia Earhart. Tops of tables um Tops of tables and bookshelves had pictures of every life experience she'd ever had. Trophies glittered the place along with rocks, random pennies, and other souvenirs. It was a lot, but it felt like home. Dorcas wandered over to the white bed in the corner. They weren't sure if they should even sit down, even though many times prior they had always resorted to flopping down on it. Marlene wasn't hesitant to do her own flop on the bed, though, having a tired breath on the way down. Dorcas took that as a sign to lay down next to her. They wanted to say something, but what? Thankfully, they didn't have to decide before Marlene spoke. We can talk about it, but you aren't allowed to ask me 3 things. Marlene held 3 fingers in the air to illustrate her point. Okay. You can't ask me if I'm okay, because I am. Marlene sure didn't seem like it. Okay. Dorcas felt a bit ashamed because that was exactly what they were going to ask first. You can't ask me about how Fabian feels because I know for a fact that he doesn't care. Okay. Not surprised by that. And you can't ask me if I'm ever going to try to fix things because I assure you I won't. Don't say, okay. Well, alright. Ugh. Dorcas was startled and Marlene rose to sit on the bed. She looked pissed but exhausted more than anything. Fucking say something. Anything. I didn't want you coming here so I could cry like a baby about it. I mean, it hurts, sure, but also he doesn't care and it doesn't matter anymore. Well, Miles, how do you feel? And before you say anything, I didn't ask if you were okay. I feel fucking fantastic. This was unlike Marlene. Of course, the two of them had gotten arguments before, but Dorcas wasn't used to this Marlene. This sketching side of her. Then they realized that Marlene was probably acting this way because of a broken heart. Resorting with a nasty remark would only make things worse. Marlene, just talk. Don't take out your feelings on me. Just express them. Let them out. Marlene sighed. Some of the anger in her face vanished. Fine. I really hate him right now. I mean, who tells someone they love them only to break up with them, like an hour later? But I should have known. He complained all the time about, oh, you hate kissing me. And why can't you support me and my stupid baseball, even though I did, and he never supported me with soccer. Oh, and don't forget, do you like someone else? Tell me if you're cheating on me. He didn't know how to treat me. He was annoying and insecure, and a terrible kisser, by the way. Yikes. Last time I heard, I'm not a terrible kisser. Is this a bad time to think about that? Well, but I thought you and him really had something. What changed? He did. Or maybe I did. I didn't know or care. I don't know or care. Either way, it's over. Understandable. Understandable. Yeah, it's understandable. You wanna know how to stick that... You wanna know what the sick part about it? The part of me wanted to work so badly. Even yesterday, that part of me still wanted to fix things, but I realized I just didn't care as much as I thought I did. I got bored. I gave up. It would have been better if I had ended things early, but I never did. Whatever. The one who has to worry about the situation is him now. He broke it off, anyway. At first, Dirk didn't know how to respond. They assumed Marlene was probably processing, which was better than nothing. I'm glad you feel better about it then. I missed you. Shit, I've said it much. I've missed you too. God, I've missed you. That's another thing. He wasn't as interested as you. I think he tried to be and failed miserably. He only wanted to talk about sports. I love sports. I do. But that was literally all he talked about. Well, that and how I was probably cheating on him. That's why he would hardly let me around you anymore. Not even you. Dorcas jumped up to sit on the bed at that. They tried not to rise too fast, tried not to seem too bothered. Not even me? What the fuck? Does Fabian know, or is he just an asshole? Why me? You weren't going to cheat with me. Marlene choked out a laugh. It sounded pained, bitter. Tell him that. He was so jealous of everyone else that all the time, so he thought I was gonna run off with someone else and with anyone and everyone who offered. I get why, kinda. Who would wanna lose you? Yeah, I'm definitely saying too much. Another bitter laugh. You make it sound better than it was. It's terrible though. Feeling like you can't do shit because someone who is supposed to love you can't trust you. I mean, can you even love someone if you can't trust them? Dorcas thought about their parents. Maybe, they replied. Maybe. Well, that's pretty shitty love, don't you think? Yeah. Marlene stared up the ceiling. She looked lost in thought, and beautiful. She said the next words slowly and carefully, like walking while holding a glass vase. So see, you get it. You get everything. I can talk to you and everything makes sense. I talk to Fabian and everything's a battle. And I'd lose. Every fucking time. That was his fatal flaw, I think. Fighting for me instead of caring for me. But you... Marlene shifted to sit taller on the bed. She looked straight at Dorcas. They felt like a deer in headlight. I don't have to fight you. That was his problem. He wasn't like you. He wasn't like you. Marlene said it as if something was clicking into place. Dorcas' breath quickened. Well, what am I supposed to do with that? I don't even know if I ever truly liked him, Marlene continued. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck was she saying? What do you mean? Of course you liked him. It was a... 3-month relationship? You're allowed to feel bad about it. I know, but... Marlene looked down and sighed. Locks of hair hid her eyes. Dorcas silently cursed the hair. Listen, Miles, I get that Pruitt guy was a dick, but he doesn't deserve shit from you. But you don't have to negate everything you do. No, Cass, listen to me, She swallowed, still not looking up. I didn't like him. Just say how you feel, Marlene. Spit it out already. Well, how can you say that when... Because I did it to make you jealous. Oh my God. Marlene looked at the ceiling again. Because at first I really wanted to make you jealous, but then you were kind about me and Fabian. I stayed with him because I thought one day you'd just pull me aside and confess your feelings if you had them, but you didn't. You didn't because you're a good friend and you didn't want to ruin my seemingly perfect relationship. I shouldn't have put that burden on you. And God, Dorcas, I wanted so badly to tell you how I felt, but I just couldn't. Every time I tried, I would just get scared, and I'm an idiot and a coward for doing all this to and making it so we're where we can talk, Miles. And you have every right to stop being friends with me and talk shit about me and tell Fabian about what a terrible person I am. Everything about her was tense. Her eyes screwed shut, her shoulders shrugged, all her words were rushed. Miles! And shit, I'm interrupting you like an asshole, but honestly, it doesn't care because Miles! Dorcas hoped they didn't yell it. A small spark of anger in Dorcas' stomach might have given itself away. Marlene finally stopped. She opened her eyes to look at Dorcas. It was their turn to speak. I just wanted to say one thing. Fuck you, McCannon. Marlene's face dropped slightly. Fuck you for not telling me how you felt, Sailor. Who the fuck goes all this trouble for feelings, especially when they might not be reciprocated? Oh, and fuck you for assuming I'd even try to get in the way of your happiness. I'm sorry, and fuck you, McKinnon, for thinking for a second that I'd give up 4 years of friendship for this. Also, I've had feelings for you for as long as we've known each other. So, as pissed as I am, I'm not gonna reject you. Oh, Dorcas scoffed. Yeah, oh. There was a beat of silence. Marlene shut up. Wait, did you say as long as we've known each other? You've liked me for years? They looked at each other, and it felt almost like the first time again. The excited static filled Dorcas's veins once more, yet there was something tense in the eye contact. The stare didn't feel like a barrier, but a door. Maybe they'd be a metaphorical door this time, a door they'd open together. This time, however, Dorcas was the only one who could open that door. Well, yeah, yes. Door opened. My God, I must seem like an idiot. How didn't I catch that? Dorcas couldn't contain their laughter at that. Marlene almost looked offended at first, but soon joined in laughing. You've never been the brightest light bulb on the ceiling, said Dorcas between laughs. Fuck off, McDowans. It's okay, though. You're light enough for me. Okay, Dorcas, I know that we're supposed to be some sort of flirting thing, but what the hell does that mean? Another round of laughter rose between them. Marlene collapsed into Dorcas's side. She's still mine. She's amazing. There's no way I could hate her. Once Marlene's laughter subsided a bit, Dorcas took the opportunity to bring her mouth on theirs. Shit, wait, is it okay? Marlene quickly responded by kissing back and pulling them closer. Oh, this is okay. This is okay. This is okay. This is okay. Dorcas tried not to look disappointed when Marlene pulled away. Maybe Fabian was right. We're still talking about him. I'm not even going to ask what you mean by that, because I don't want to stick kissing you right now. Damn, okay. Didn't know I was this blunt, but kinda like it. Are you telling me to shut up? Well, let's weigh out the pros and cons, shall we? Con of shutting up, Marlene. I don't hear your lovely pro shutting up. Kissing Marlene McFucking-Gannon. Actually, yeah, shut up, McCannon. Dorcas didn't hesitate to kiss Marlene again, and Marlene didn't hesitate to shut up and kiss back. Kissing Marlene still felt new to Dorcas. Luckily, they can't help but think they'd get used to it soon enough, because being in her arms felt natural. Dorcas and Marlene, Marlene and Dorcas. That's how it's always been. Their minds still spinning about the whole romance part, though. Holy shit, my best friend and I are dating? I have no idea, but I think it's okay for right now. Wanna know what else is okay? I'm a good kisser. Suck on that, Preweed. Thank you for watching. I really like this one. I just love my lesbians, honestly. They do not get enough recognition in this fandom. I really hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching. I'll put the link in the description so you can give kudos to this author. And have a very nice day.